It's Tom with Path to Billions, helping you find a path towards financial freedom and a better life. If you want to join me on that journey, please consider subscribing. Now, I'm going to start off by talking about why I personally don't sell used books on Amazon, but some of the reasons you might want to sell them is because they have an amazing return on investment and they can be relatively easy to find. But there can be some downsides to selling them, and I want to mention some of the issues I've run into so that way you can have a different perspective on selling used books so you can make the best decision for yourself. So some of my background with selling used books on Amazon is I originally started doing Amazon with just retail and online arbitrage. Then I saw several videos here on YouTube of people buying used books and then selling them on Amazon. So after watching several of those videos, I downloaded Scout IQ and I went to give it a try. However, after about 2 months of doing this, I decided it wasn't worth my time and effort, so I ended up deciding not to continue with used books. However, I still do online and retail arbitrage. Also, a local bookstore is closing down recently, and they were giving away all their books for free. So I figured I would go grab all those books because, hey, they're free. And out of the couple hundred I've scanned so far, I've gotten 12. And I still have a couple hundred more to go. So let's jump into the reasons why I don't sell used books on Amazon. The first piece I would like to mention is something you'll have to deal with when selling anything used, and that's product conditions. Anything that is a used product will have some type of wear and tear on it from use. With Amazon, they offer you a couple different condition codes for books, and they offer you a place to put notes in there. This is similar to eBay with product descriptions in the listing. This just helps the customer know exactly what they're going to get. It also prevents any returns because the customer knows what they're buying. Condition codes are a rather minor gripe, but it's something I wanted to mention. For me, I do retail and online arbitrage, and all my products are brand new, so I don't actually have to mention product conditions. An example of this is actually this book here. It is actually water damaged, and so when I go to list that book on Amazon, I will have to mention it and possibly add a picture to the listing too. Even with water damage in acceptable condition, that book is still worth about $30. Going along with condition codes, another thing you'll have to deal with is stickers. Pretty much every used bookstore you'll buy from is going to put some type of sticker on the book to indicate pricing. This is also a pretty minor complaint, and it's actually something I still have to deal with retail and online arbitrage because I buy a lot of products from TJ Maxx and similar stores, which put their own barcodes on. With used books, you might have to do some minor cleaning of the covers to get them in better shape, but you'll be able to list them for a higher price. Again, these first two are very minor complaints, and all it really does is increase the amount of prep time it's going to take when you go to list your books on Amazon. Again, another example from those books is this one where it has a sticker on the front. I'm going to have to remove this when I send it to Amazon. One big reason I stopped selling used books on Amazon was the slow turnover compared to other products I was selling. With how many used booksellers there are on Amazon, you're going to have to keep your pricing competitive in order to maintain sales volume. Now, my biggest recommendation to avoid doing this manually is to get a repricer, which is basically just a software that reprices your items based on certain criteria. At the time I was sourcing used books, I didn't actually have a repricer, but I recently got one and my sales nearly doubled from April to May. I'm planning to make a video in the future about why you need a repricer as an Amazon seller, so hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can be notified when that comes out. So, if you're going to be selling used books on Amazon, consider a repricer part of your operational costs similar to Scout IQ. Another big reason is the large amount of books you'll have to scan to find a few winners. With how many used books are out there and how many worthless used books are out there, you're going to have to scan hundreds to find the few that are worth selling. Even in a recent video by Reezy Resells, he mentions that 99% of the books he scans are duds. So he personally focuses on efficiency so he can scan as many books as quickly as possible to find the few that are worth selling. With me and doing retail arbitrage, I'm at the point in my business where I could walk into a store and find dozens, if not 100 items to resell. Also, with retail arbitrage, after doing it for long enough, you can find a large amount of inventory that are replenishable items, meaning you can walk into a store, find the same items over and over again, whereas with used books, I'm guessing most people don't find the same book more than 1 or 2 or 3 times. For instance, with these books, I had to scan a couple hundred books to find 12 winners. So that's something you'll have to keep in mind when sourcing books. The biggest reason I don't sell used books on Amazon is simply because I can't find a large enough source of them compared to other YouTubers I've watched. For instance, a YouTuber by the name of Everyday FBA goes into a thrift store and they have shelf upon shelf upon shelf of used books. Meanwhile, the thrift stores I go to have maybe 2 shelves of used books. This is probably the biggest consideration you're going to have to take into account, because if you can't source enough of them, you can't sell enough of them to make it worth your while. Now, I know there are other ways to source used books for Amazon, and a lot of people here on YouTube will mention book sales. However, I've been to a book sale one time, and I personally hated it. There's probably a half dozen or so other resellers in there, all scanning books super fast and competing with each other. It just wasn't my scene. Like a lot of the reasons mentioned in this video, they are personal opinion and personal circumstance, but I did want to give you a different perspective. Also, when running my own business, I want to do a business model that is something I enjoy, and retail arbitrage and online arbitrage is something I enjoy because it's basically shopping but getting paid for it. I hope this video gave you a different perspective when it comes to selling used books on Amazon. As mentioned in the beginning of this video, I think selling used books on Amazon can be a great way to get started. They can teach you about the platform, and they can have a high ROI, so you can build up the capital so you can do more retail and online arbitrage. Let me know in the comments if you are currently selling used books or if you're considering it. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you can see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching.